Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, Augusto Argandoña Fine Arts. Anytime in this tutorial, you can click on the subscribe button to subscribe to my channel. This particular demonstration is about another one in my series of what I call 20-minute watercolors. This is a forest scene with some water and a lot of value changes, light areas, sunny areas, and very dark, shady areas. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to start with adding some water to this area, upper area, right down to where that tree trunk is, and above these areas where these rocks will be. There we are. So I'm just adding some water there. Here too, like that. Bringing some of that over here. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and cover this area too. And I'm going to go ahead and get some aureolin yellow with some raw sienna. This is going to be the sunny portion of this forest. And start adding some greens over here, over those areas. We're gonna soft, like that. A little bit more of the cerulean blue in some areas, like that. There we are. Bring that right by those tree trunks. Get this area a little bit more color, a little bit more intensity to those colors. Right by the edge of those rocks, like that. There we are. Now I'm going to start increasing the value of these colors. A little bit more of the same colors. This time I'm going to bring some undersea green with a raw sienna and a little bit more of those colors there, like that. Get some of those areas over here. Going to be some dark areas, some light areas. Where those trees are. Now I'm going to change brushes to my larger brush and increase the value of those colors. Bring some dark greens. And we'll do a little bit of the texturing with this foliage. It's going to be in this area. Like that. Increase those value of those colors too. Right by these rocks. There. A little bit more over here. There we are. And let that dry. While that's drying, I'm going to change back to my flat brush. Get the same colors. And come over here where the water is going to be. Leave some of the white for the little bit of the warmer green, little white areas. Come over here and come down like that with those colors. Come over here. Like that. sienna. So the cerulean blue. Bring those colors right over here, right to where these rocks will be in the shade. Come down over here like that. There we are. Then immediately I'm going to start adding some darker colors too. Undersea green, some ultramarine blue, and do some of the reflections that are going to be over here. And then I'm going to bring in a little bit of Payne's gray with this raw sienna and tilt my paper and get some of the darker areas over here. Like that. Like that. There we are. With my brush, can come over here and lighten some of these areas. A little bit of the ripples over here. Over there, there we are. Another one over here, there. All right. So now, while that's drying, I'm going to get a smaller round brush, get more of the Payne's gray, get a little bit of a sepia mixed there with the raw sienna, and do some of the darker areas over here, right by those rocks. Some of the detail where the shadow areas are going to be in this, at the edge of this forest, like that. Then some quinacridone gold deep. Some edges of the forest, by those rocks there. And some of the greens, and get a little bit of that effect. Not too much, kind of give a little bit of texture, but don't keep it too much, just like that. There we are. At the same time, I'm going to bring some of those darker colors. More ultramarine blue, and come over here and bring a little bit of that little burnt amber with the Payne's gray and into this area there for the edges of that water. Yeah, that's about it. So now I'm going to get some brown matter, quite a bit of brown matter, some cobalt blue. Actually, I'm going to bring some ultramarine blue into that area. I'll do this, the rocks, the dark rocks that are over here to this shadow side. This edge, like that. A bit more with those colors. very dark, like that. Some rocks right through the water. And some of the cerulean blue into that area too. This is the darker, the shadow side. And some water, some more of those colors. Really dark over here. The shapes of rocks into the edge. Like that. And while that is damp, I'm going to get some of this little tool and get some shapes of rocks and get some little different shape here. There's some rocks. A little bit of texturing on this foreground over here like this. There we are. Now I'm going to get me a smaller brush, get some burnt sienna, quite a bit of burnt sienna, a little bit of brown matter, and a little bit of sepia. And come back in here and do these trees. Bring them all the way down like that. A little bit more brown matter, some ultramarine blue. Put another one over here. Like that. More ultramarine blue. And bring them over here like this. And do some of the branches. Like that. And a smaller brush. And do those branches. Like that. Get some of the sepia and brown matter and do a little bit more of that shading. Get some of the saplings over here, like that. Take my smaller brush, get some of the undersea green, with the sepia, and do some of the darker bushes that are over here. Bring a little bit of quinacridone gold also. Like that. A little bit more quinacridone gold deep. And a little bit of the texturing of the little bushes. Like that. A little bit more sepia and some of these bushes over here. Some of the bushes coming out of here too. There we are. And get a smaller brush to the other trees over here. This is dry. There. A bit of sepia with this green color. A little ultramarine blue there. Some burnt sienna on this. Put some of the trees over here, like that. Get a smaller brush. Do a little bit more of those branches. Like that. Lastly, I'm going to get some cerulean blue, a little bit of this gray, and do some of these rocks. There we are. We'll pick up some more, some violet, with the ultramarine blue, and do some of these rocks a little bit darker. Do a little bit of darker details over here, like that. There, like that. Do some of these rocks over here too, right by the edge of the water. There. Clean the brush. Get a cleaner brush and soften some of this. And that 20-minute watercolor is pretty much done. So I'm going to remove this like that. Put this on a dark board so you can see and be able to appreciate this. Here comes the dark board. And there it is, the 20-minute watercolor. Thank you very much. Until next time.